Hello, everyone, and welcome to the QT2 Systems, My Greatest Moment podcast series. My name is Reem Jishi, and I'm the content director for QT2 Systems. Our featured athlete today is Karla Riedel. And so thank you, Karla, for joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, so Karla is an athlete with the running arm of QT2 Systems, the Run Formula. And so we're going to do some talking about running today. So I'm just going to tell everyone up front what your greatest moment was. Okay, and then we're going to back up to it. So just now, less than a month ago, Karla raced the Berlin Marathon, and a week later, she raced the London Marathon. And beat her goal times on both of them by quite a bit. So so congratulations. Amazing. So much fun watching those. I love your celebratory. Woo!
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, I did this. I'm excited. I just went over my mind doing that. Yeah.
So I want to take you back to the time before you would have even thought about doing something like this. So tell me when you started running and what the backstory is behind that.
Oh my God, when I started running was more than a decade ago. I remember that I wanted to do something different. Like I was like looking for something different, not gyms, not something different. And like my husband told me, why don't we go for a run? And I'm like, okay. So we did this mile. I was dying. I couldn't even do one mile. And then I'm like, oh, but I think I feel good. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try. So we stumbled upon a 5K race. It was a Susan G. Komen race. So that was actually my first race. I did a 5K. I had no idea about time, what to wear, hydration, nutrition. I just knew that I needed to complete the race. I ended up like running like a really long, like, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so. But honestly, I was like, okay, this is hard. This is really hard. I don't know if I can do this again, but I don't know. I got this runner's high. Something happened in me, something triggered it. And it went on from there. And then I did half marathons, and I started getting better at my time, doing 10Ks, and I just started doing it not by time, because a lot of runners would do everything like, oh, like your half marathon time. But at first it was just about completing the races. Mm-hmm. In 2016, my daughter was born, and I was like, I had to hold back a little bit in running. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to get back on track. I need to do something for myself. I was a new mom, and I was like, oh, I need to get my mojo back, be back and to do what I love. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do my first marathon. So actually the first marathon was in 2016 when my daughter was born. I did it 6 months postpartum. And it was a Rock and Roll Vegas. It was hard. I didn't had any idea about doing a 26 miles. Like, I'm like, this is crazy. I had my plan on Pinterest. I think it was like, I'm gonna do this, but I did make a lot of mistakes. But at the end, I mean, I was like so thrilled. I fell in love with the distance. Like, half marathons are really fun, but the marathon it has something in it, the distance, it has a backbone to it, that it's you against you. And it was like, I'm hooked. I am so hooked. So I think that 5K back in 2009-10 was the first one, but I think the 2016 marathon was actually the one that got me hooked with marathons. And I was a new mom. I'm like people were like, you're crazy. You just had a baby 6 months ago. And I'm like, well, I'm doing this because I need to do this for myself.
That's awesome. So while you were doing this in 2016, based on your Pinterest training plan that you followed.
Yeah, like, oh
Was
my
there
God.
a time during that race that you're like, oh my God, I'm crazy? Because we always talk like when you race a marathon, you go through every imaginable emotion. Like, why am I doing this? And then you cross.
Why am I doing this? I think
the next one.
Of course I hit the wall. Of course I was like, I need to stop. And it was in Vegas, it was at night. So it was freezing. It was dark. And I'm like, and I thought it was gonna be like easier, right? Running in dark, like I have no sun. I was thinking, oh, I'm not gonna get the sun and I'm gonna be fine. But nope, nope, nope. It was crazy. But at the end, I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. That first marathon, it was when rock and roll could they gave you the jackets, right? And I got my finisher's jacket, marathon finisher. I bragged about it, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like the first feeling when you cross that when you get to cross that finish line, oh my God, you have no idea. Like it's like I told my friends, you should try this. This is crazy, but you should try this. And then I just started like browsing more, like getting more information about running. And I got all the books and just started reading about it. I don't know. I just loved it so much that I was like, I need to do this right. If I want to do this, I need to do it. I need to do it right. If I'm loving this, I just want to learn more and more about it. And then I stumbled upon what is the World Marathon Majors. I'm like, what is this? I had no idea what a marathon major was, but I was reading about this, about super prestigious races in the world. And I'm like, that's a nice goal. I think I can do this. So that's when it all started. Like it all starts with an idea in your brain, and then you get fixated, and then you're like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
So you started. So when was your first major, and which one was it?
My first major was in 2019.
Okay.
My first major, I got into Chicago, which was a really exciting. It was like super exciting for me. Like I'm doing a major. What I'm doing a major. How can I do this? Well, I'm gonna do this. So it was a really nice course because it's flat. It's for my first major. And then in the same year, I did New York. I also did back-to-back marathons, but it was, I don't know what happened, that I was a little bit tired in New York, and oh my God, all of those bridges.
Yeah.
No. So I ended up doing a little bit more time that I wanted to, but yeah. So my first two ones were Chicago, New York, and now I get to brag that I have two more. I have London and I have Berlin. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey since 2018, because you start training like ahead of the majors. But it's been a journey. And then I got canceled, like London got canceled because I got into London.
So tell me about that, because you did Berlin and London this year were a week apart. So most of the time people don't plan that schedule. I mean, it's not like it's not how they line it up. So when did you get into London initially?
So initially, I applied to London in 2020. Okay. So I started like, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I have a good stream like doing this, but COVID hit. So COVID hit, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not gonna happen. It was gonna happen virtually, but I'm not gonna do it virtually. I want to have the experience, right? So I canceled London, and I'm just gonna wait. And then during that year, I also applied for Berlin. I just wanted to see if I could get in. Like, let's see if it happens. Let's see how it's gonna play it out. We're gonna play it out. So and I got into Berlin, but Omicron hit. So I got into London 2020, Berlin 2021. And I had to cancel both because of COVID. So what's left? 2022. Okay, so I have these two majors. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna cancel them? I am not gonna cancel them. I've been training so hard. I've been doing this like since I started training for London in 2019. And of course I did another marathon just to compensate the training. But I'm like, I'm not giving up this opportunity. And I know that it's gonna be hard. And I know that it's going to be crazy. I didn't even tell my friends or family that I'm going to do back-to-back marathons because I didn't want anybody to influence me and opinions and just, even if they were positive, right? I'm like, you can get negative and positive opinions, but I'm like, I'm not going to, no, this is going to be my decision. So I know that I needed structure and I needed something special to train, like a nice schedule to train. So Berlin was like my main goal. I always wanted to do a sub 4. And for a couple of seconds, I always miss that sub 4. And I'm like, Berlin is gonna be my sub 4. And then I'll just do London, just like the cherry on top, just take it easy. But good things did happen. So good things did happen, both of them. Yeah.
Good. All right. So you found yourself now that you knew you were doing Berlin and then London. It was your goal. So whatever, like, I totally get what you're saying. I made my decision. People are going to think it's crazy. So I'm just not going to tell them, because why? They have nothing to do with that. I don't want to be talked out or best or whatever. Right. So you did it. And then at that point, though, when you had decided to do both, you were still coaching yourself, correct?
I was coaching myself. I had my running certification from RCA, and I've coached myself for the past couple of years, but I knew that I needed something different. And by different, I mean some accountability, somebody that I could rely to, that I could talk to, that can help me just get my training right. Because I missed that sub 4 for seconds. I'm like, something is something is happening here that I can't just get my goal in. So that's why I'm like, I need somebody that can help me. I was just running on my treadmill one day, listening to this running blog, and I'm like, I think you were actually giving the Boston Marathon qualifications a blog, and I'm like, oh my God, I think she's the one. So I got in contact with you, and then you just told me like, oh, I think Courtney will be your perfect coach. And then it went on from there.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. So you started working with Courtney Cutler when was it? In summer or late spring, probably, right?
Late spring, yes.
Yeah.
So it was in late spring. I'm like, I got in contact with you guys, and I'm like, I need help because I have this major goal, and I've done coaching myself, and it's not happening. What's wrong? And Courtney just listened to me. She was amazing. She explained to me a lot of things. I have to be honest, I never trained by zones. So that was a big part of my training. I was like, I don't like to train by zones, because what happens is sometimes you're training at zone 1 and you feel really slow, and I'm like, I'm never gonna accomplish this, but everything has a reason. And I know that I knew that running slow meant to be more endurance, more base mileage and everything. But honestly, like, Courtney just did such an amazing job explaining to me, you know what, you need to do your zone run, you need to rest, you need to do your base training, and then we're going to incorporate speed. and we're going to do it gradually. So I'm like, okay. So I was like talking to myself and I'm like, okay, Karla, you were the one that contacted them because you were the one that needed structure. So you're gonna listen. So I'm like, I'm going to listen, and I'm gonna follow every single workout, every single training session as accurate as I can. So yeah, that what I learned from Courtney was the art of holding back, as I like to say. Hold back a little bit. When it's time to do someone. When it's time to push yourself, push yourself. And of course I was doubting in my mind, if I'm running at zone 1, how am I going to sustain marathon pace? Because if you want to sub 4, you at least have to sustain your marathon pace at a 9:07 per mile. So I'm like, how am I going to do this if I want to run like I wanted to run like at 8:45, so I could have that gap in case of something happens during the race. And I was like, Courtney, how can I think I'm never gonna make it. I think she's like, listen, you're gonna get there. And she was like, I don't know, we just hit it off. It was a really nice relationship. Like she understood me as a mom, as an athlete. She's also a mom of one amazing little girl, and I'm also a mom of one amazing little girl. So we kind of we had our own special relationship that we could understand each other. That sometimes, like, you know what, I have to volunteer at school. How am I gonna do this? Oh, don't worry, I'll just move your dates and your training. So I mean, I did a lot of different things with Courtney, for sure, training by zones and taking it easy when I had to take it easy. And, you know, also another thing that was different for me, I trained by time and not by distance. So that was one of my, why am I doing this? Why time, not distance? And then I'm like, it's like, okay, so we can do both or whatever you feel. But if you train by time, you can work harder to keep calm, like just to hold back. You don't stress about hitting the mile. You stress, you just go into your time. And you know what? It helped me a lot. Like I was tired during the training. I was tired, but not fatigued. I never got to that, like, I'm fatigued. No, it was always like, I'm feeling so good that it scares me, right? But okay, I got amazing results. So I think we did a good job.
Good. So Taco, so tell me now, all right, you made it to Berlin. Your goal was to go sub 4. Tell me about your race at Berlin.
Oh my God. So I was really nervous. You have no idea, like pre-race jitters. I'm like, I just need to keep calm and just do whatever my coach told me to do the last couple of days. And I'm like, just nail your nutrition, your hydration, because obviously you have to travel abroad. So you get jet lag. So I was like, just hydrate, concentrate, eat the right foods, do not change anything in your diet, in your nutrition. Also, that was a game changer. I tried a different formula. Like I tried Gatorade Endurance. I used to do just a regular Gatorade, but I also took one of your nutrition courses online. And oh my God, that was a game changer. Just changing my hydration strategies, and I planned my sweat rate and everything. So I think that made me feel confident for Berlin, or when I got to the start line. So the weather was really nice, actually. We thought it was gonna rain, and I'm like, oh my God, if it rains, my clothes is gonna get wet. I'm gonna be heavier, like, oh God. But nothing happened. Everything went smoothly. I was there on time. I mean, I got time to do, to stretch, to relax, to do everything right. I don't know. Everything was just right at that moment. And then just the gun went off, and like, I started my race. And what was different? I started slow. I'm just gonna let people pass. It's fine. Just run slow. Take your time. Do your zones. You're gonna be fine. Like, just talking to myself. And what I do think that the mind Like once you think that you can accomplish something and it's in your head, you're going to do it. Because on the previous races, I have to be honest, I did doubt myself. Like, can I do this? I don't know. But in Berlin, I wasn't fatigued. I wasn't tired. I just started the race so fresh, so calm. And in my mind, I'm like, you have to do this. Like, this is your moment. This is you against you. You have nothing to prove. Just do your race. And everything, I'm telling you, everything was amazing. The crowds were amazing. Everything was good. No cramps, because that was one of my also one of my things that I tend to cramp, but nothing happened. So I'm like, I'm feeling good. So once I got to the 30-kilometer mark, I'm like, that's it. I'm just letting myself go. Obviously, I was tired. Obviously, the pain hit. Obviously, like, I just want to get this over with. Like, but you know what? I'm 6.2 miles away. So, or are you gonna do this, or are you gonna do this? And I remember that Courtney told me, just hold back. And once you get to that 10-kilometer that you're almost there, just let yourself go. Mm-hmm. Go to zone 3. And I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. So everything just and of course you're like, oh my God, you have no idea. You're so in your head, like you don't even listen to the crowds. I just remember seeing the Brandenburg Gate. It was an amazing moment. I mean, there are no words that I can tell you what it feels like to just get to that point. Obviously, that's not the finish, right? You still have a couple of meters to go, but it's amazing, that feeling. I'm like, just like, I have like 200, I think it was 200, 400 meters to go. And I'm like, I'm doing this. And I just sprint. So I ended up doing negative splits, and I ended up having a wonderful race. And I finished the race, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this all over again.
So what was your final time? What did you run in Berlin?
I run it like in 3:53.
Nice.
So not even like I never thought that I could do that. Like I did the sub 4, but not in like 3:59. I did 3:53. Like
3:53. That's huge on a negative split race. Yeah, it sounds like everything was your day. It was just meant to be.
It was just that day. Yeah. And thinking back, like I'm like, I should have just gone faster. But no.
If you'd gone out hard at the beginning, you wouldn't have finished in a 3:53.
Exactly.
I mean, that's like, it's such a hard thing to explain to people, that pushing, if you say you feel great at the beginning of a marathon and you push that pace, then you're just going to play. You are. Yeah. So being disciplined and holding back lets you finish hard at the end. So that's,
you have to just concentrate. Just don't look at other runners. Just go at your own time. Mm-hmm. Do your 5K in this time, 10K, 15K, because there's no mile markers in Berlin. I think, there's only kilometers. So I had to learn how to train with kilometers also. But you know what, when you are about to cross that finish line and you're leaving the runners behind, you know that you're having a good race. I'm like, I'm leaving you guys behind. See you later. I'm just gonna run.
At the beginning, let yourself be passed. At the end, you pass.
Actually, that's a first for me. Like feeling that good in a marathon. Like, oh my God, this feeling like, oh. But I finished and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this again.
Okay, but you did. So you left Berlin, you went to London. So London was just, there was just the cherry on top, as you said. But tell me, like, but
again, my thoughts, like, obviously I was a little bit tired. Like,
sure,
I'm not gonna say that, oh my God, I'm not too showy or anything, but I was tired. My calf was hurting a little bit. So I actually texted Courtney, like, and she's like, do your ice baths. And I'm like, where am I gonna get ice? Like there was no like those machines that you get in the hotel, like in the States. Like, oh my God, I told you, we need just to get buckets of ice. I'm like, okay, buckets of ice, did my ice baths, foam rolling and everything. I'm like, okay, I think we need to do the KT tapes because my calf was like not cooperating that much. But okay, I'm like, mentally, I have to get there. Like my head, it's gonna be the one that's gonna tell me if I can do this or not, because my body knows what to do. Just get in that state of mind. So this is me, London. Here we go again, right? Mm-hmm. So actually, a lot of runners, we were like, "Oh my God, it's gonna rain," because the weather was telling us it was gonna be pouring rain. And I'm like, I've never done a race raining, but it didn't rain. So I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. We're starting out right. So I started out a little bit late, like I think it was like around 10:45, and I'm like, oh, it's a little bit late. But London is foggy, it's cloudy, so no problem with the heat and the sun. Weather was perfect, and I started running. Again. London, let me tell you, it's a little bit it is very narrow. So it's really hard to pass other runners. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take it easy. I mean, passing other runners what meant for me just to push myself a little bit more and then hold back and push. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stay like an easy race, right? And then I didn't know that London had a bit of uphill, downhill, uphill. I thought it was like more flat, but it was not. So my calf like was hurting a little bit. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna do this. So I spotted the 4-hour pacer. So I'm like, oh, there you are. I'm just gonna push myself a little bit every mile. And then he was in front of me, and then I was back and front, back. And I'm like, I'm gonna push myself a little bit. I think I can manage this. And then I saw my husband in the crowd, and he's like, you're at 3:55 pace. Just go for it. I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I'm gonna go and do this. And again, when I was at like mile 23, like a 5K to go, or maybe a little bit before, I'm like, I'm just gonna push myself. Just push yourself a little bit more. And just do a little bit more. And I left the pacer behind, and I'm like, I think I have this. I think I have this again. Mm-hmm. It suddenly was really tired, and I'm like, where is that 400-meter marker? I remember I told this lady, where is that? I need it now. And you know what? Suddenly we're seeing like Buckingham Palace, and it's gonna happen, and just run. And it happened again. I did a sub 4 again. I did in 3:57. So it was amazing for me because it was not like 3:59. So I did also a really good time back to back. And I'm like, I'm feeling great. I was really tired at the end. My husband was like, let's take pictures and everything. You know what? I'm so tired. I just want to go and take a bath. And oh my God. And I'm done. I'm like, I'm done. I'm living my moments. It's crazy to do back-to-back marathons. I think it does require a lot of focus, mental focus, a lot of dedication, a lot of training. But if you're there and you're committed and you believe in yourself, oh my God, it will happen. Just you have to talk to yourself and say, it is gonna happen. You haven't, and it happened. Like I did 2 sub 4s. Like I was dreaming about that moment, and it happened. So I got to brag about it. I'm so sorry. I'm getting so excited.
You absolutely
thinking about it again, right? You
absolutely get to brag about it. That's great. I mean, to do one, and then you could have just said, oh, I'm just gonna coast on this one, but you dug deep, and you mentally, you saw. I mean, I think that's like listening to you talk. You gained this confidence in yourself that you could do this. And that's always the first step. Like if you don't believe you can do something, you're never going to be able to accomplish it, So just having there and knowing and trusting and believing.
Believing, running is exhausting. Running is intimidating, especially when you're doing marathons, but running is also everything in between. Like, it's amazing. I mean, you get to experience the distance, the crowds, the pain. Just embrace the pain, embrace it, embrace yourself. And I was just, you know what, Karla, just let go. Yeah. And I let go, like, but obviously, just negative splits, right? That's the key. Like, let go at the end. Let's let just sustain the pace and let go. And then you're there, and suddenly you have medals to brag about.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so, but earlier on the interview, you talked about doing the majors. So you've got a couple left. So what's next on your list?
Oh my God.
That you really want to get
to? I have New York, I have Chicago, I have Berlin, I have London, and I'm missing Tokyo. So I'm gonna try to get into Tokyo. I'll see, because I didn't get into with the lottery system, but I'll just see if I can do with an agency. Let's see. But if it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna continue training. And obviously, BQ. I want to have my BQ, and I want to have Boston, like every runner's dream. Boston. Mm-hmm. So I know it's gonna. I'm committed. I'm like, you know what? I am committed. I want to do this. I know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be not even months of training, but probably years, because I do need to qualify, and I do want to qualify. So that is my next two major goals, like do Tokyo and then do Boston, and just train in between. Yeah. I want to get my big medal.
Yes.
I want that.
Oh my gosh. I love it. That's so exciting. I love how running has, it's changed you as a person too, right?
Yeah, it has.
Just empowering, making that decision to do something that was good for you has helped you on so many levels.
Has helped me. Running is it's a part of me. So I never thought, you just think about, like, when you're little or you're in high school, and like, oh my God, I could never do that. But you start just dreaming, believing, achieving. That's it.
Yeah. I love it.
So yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited with what's gonna happen in the future. I know that I'm like not the best runner, or I have the best times, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep pushing myself and just keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna find you're just amazing stories, and thank you so much for sharing everything with us today, Karla.
Really, it's a journey. It's a journey, and you just have to enjoy it. And it's not gonna be fun. Like, it's not fun every single time that you go for a run and train. But you know what? At the end, oh my God, if you do it right, you fall in love with running. And I'm so happy, and I'm so thankful with the run formula. You have no idea. It was a game changer for me. Like, all the training, all the hard work, it was a game changer. And I achieved incredible results. So I am happy, but I'm also, I do know that I need to do more training just to achieve my other goals, but I'm getting there. I think it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, I think so too. And so thank you very much, and good luck with everything, and we'll keep us posted on what you end up doing next if you get yourself into Tokyo.
Oh my God, yeah, I know, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Karla.
Bye.
Bye.